This week on Tiger Talk, what to own at Doane. From the Career Development Office, Eric Vaughn. And here's the host of Tiger Talk, Dusty.
Good evening and welcome to Tiger Talk. If you are an outgoing senior or you are a junior looking to get a head start, today is a very special episode of Tiger Talk that is special for you. From the Career Development Office, we have Eric Vaughn. He's going to be here talking all about the Career Development Office, how it can help you out, as well as how it can help out any potential job that you're trying to get. So make sure you keep it right here to Tiger Talk for all that information and much, much more. I'm going to try a little something new on this show. We would like to get responses from you, our audience. So our question of the week this week: in this current economy, do you believe that Doane College is taking the correct measures in their new proposed budget as well as their increases in tuition? Send your answers, either yes or no, to dctv@doane.edu. We want to get your feedback and your thoughts about what we're doing on the show, so if you have thoughts about that as well, be sure to send those to dctv@doane.edu. We'll be glad to hear from you. The results will be posted on next week's show, so make sure you check that out. Also on next week's show, I'm very excited. Two comedians are supposed to be here. Richie Holiday has guaranteed he will be performing this Tuesday night. Actually, tonight, he will be performing at Common Ground, 7:30. Make sure you check that out. And also Kevin Hart, who has been rescheduled from the first day of school from last semester. He rescheduled to perform this Sunday. So make sure you check that out. Hopefully you caught his brand new Comedy Central show. But if you didn't, it's rerunning. Check comedycentral.com for rerun schedules. Both of those hopefully going to be on the show next week. Richie Holiday guaranteed. Still waiting to hear back from Kevin Hart. So it should be a very interesting episode and very funny episode next week. So make sure you check that out. But we're going to do a little something different today. We're going to let Laura Lee introduce all the news of the week. So Laura Lee, I turn the table over to you.
As Dusty said this week, he's going to turn it over to me because he's a little tongue-tied. So I'm going to take care of the news, but Dusty will still be interviewing Eric Vaughn, the leader of career development here at Doane. So we're just going to start off with the economy is not that great in the country right now, but if you lose your job, there is still hope. We had one guy in New Jersey that decided he was going to keep delivering the newspaper even after he lost his job. He decided to steal the newspapers from somewhere else and continue delivering them and collecting the money. Well, the people didn't know that he had been fired, so he kept doing it. After a certain period of time, he did get caught. So, just so you know, there is another way to get around those circumstances when you may do something like lose your job. And another interesting story is all college kids try to figure out a way to cheat in one way or another. Well, one kid in New York, DeAndre Ellis, took it to the extreme. He decided to dress up as his girl, as a friend that was a girl, dress up as her and take her Regents exam. Well, needless to say, he got caught by the observer for the test when she looked at the test and saw that the name was not quite who the person was. So he is now up for felony charges because he was taking the test for his friend. What do you think about that, Dusty?
I think it's pretty interesting. Personally, I've never tried taking a test for a girl, but especially with a test like that, I don't know. Dressing up as a girl, I don't think I can pull it off very well, you know?
Yeah, I don't think you could be a girl very well, but...
I gotta get back used to directing.
Yeah, I know.
There we go.
Don't mess that stuff up over there, Dusty.
All right, blah, 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 back to you.
Okay, and on to the next story. We've all heard about the Hudson plane crash where a flock of birds flew into the engine and made the plane crash. Well, there's a new video game out there that lets you be the virtual hero of the plane that crashed into the Hudson. So, of the flight 1549, it'll give you a chance to land the plane on your computer, and if you do it correctly, you land safely just as the pilot did. But if you don't do it right, you will crash into the Hudson and your people on the plane may die. And it starts off with the beginning warning of the fate of the passengers is in your hands. What a way to start a computer game and make it seem like it's a big deal. But that is a new game that is coming, that is on computers right now. And the next story, this one was really interesting. Dusty found this great story. There were policemen in Zurich, Switzerland that were looking on Google Earth to find some stuff that was going on, and when they were looking through it, they ended up finding a cornfield that had 2 acres of pot on the inside of it. It was corn all the way around the outside, but there was 2 acres of pot in the middle. So the Zurich police arrested the 2 farmers that own the land, as well as maybe 16 other people on various charges related to this pot. And they found nearly 8 tons of pot in this field between 2004 and this last year. What do you think about that one, Dusty?
I don't know how they hid the corn or how they hid the pot in the corn, but I think that they should get some sort of credit for being able to hide 2 acres of pot.
One of the world's dumbest criminals, or?
One of the world's most clever, stupid criminals.
All right, I think that one would work too. But our last story is also about dumb criminals. In New Zealand, there were 2 criminals that were being transported to the courthouse just like normal, and they were handcuffed together. Well, when they got the chance, they decided to run and try to get away. Well, needless to say, they both were heading out, and there was a pole in front of them, and they each went on a different side of it and crashed right together, just like the 3 Stooges would have done. We might have a video for that. I'm not sure if Dusty can get it to work, but
we'll get that loaded up, so make sure you stick around for the commercial break. We'll get it loaded up.
It is a very funny one. These guys were just like the 3 Stooges and knocked each other out, and now are on charges, facing more charges for escaping from custody. So, as Dusty said before, for this, we're going to start a new question of the week for our listeners that are out there. And our question this week is, in this current economy, do you believe that Doane College is taking the correct measures in their new proposed cutbacks and increase in tuition? We just want to know what you guys think out there. We're going to start this new question up and see what everybody thinks that's out there listening. So make sure you email at dctv@doane.edu your answers to that question.
And also, if you have an event that you want to advertise through Tiger Talk, make sure you send that information to dctv@doane.edu as well. Be glad to talk about it for you. We want to promote Doane and Crete community as much as possible. So if you have any information about events going on around campus or around the Crete community, make sure you send those to dctv@doane.edu.
So coming up next is What to Own at Doane, and then after that commercial break, it'll be Eric Vaughn sitting here talking to Dusty about the Career Development Office. So stay tuned.
Welcome back to Tiger Talk. We're talking today with Eric Vaughn. He's coming up later on in the show. Me and Laura Lee, we decided to do a little back and forth action. So you're going to see a little bit of both of us here on camera today. But once again, it is time for What to Own at Doane. I am very excited. These clothes are all going to be featured through the month of February. In the bookstore, in the little window, you're going to see, I saw it on Tiger Talk. That is our booth in the bookstore. I want to thank them once again for putting that up. Our first set of clothing today comes from President Brand himself. President Brand himself saw these clothes and he told the bookstore that he wants them sold at Doane. So we got President Brand special order clothes today. As I said, from President Brand himself, a wonderful little hat and a scarf that match. They look great, black and Doane orange, molded together into a fantastic scarf/hat combo. And also, if you pick this up with the jacket, it looks even that much better. Doane fleece, I believe that's a sport jacket. I could be wrong, but it looks good, feels comfortable. It's a windbreaker, it looks great. And if you pick it up with the hat and scarf combo, it's one of the best things you can be walking around in during the winter weather. So pick that up in the bookstore, 20% off. Pick those up in the bookstore, 20% off. President Brand, I hope that you're watching and hope that you like what you told the bookstore, especially to order. Check those out in the bookstore, 20% off. Our next group of clothes from the bookstore Comes equipped with one of 2 hats. Both hats are going to be featured in today's show, in today's segment of What to Own at Doane. Pick them up in the bookstore, 20% off. We got for you an amazing looking jacket. It zips up, and not only that, but if you wear it with this hat, I mean, it blends perfectly. And not only do you have this hat available in the bookstore, but you can also pick up the orange matching hat, and you can have them either day, and you just look great in both of them.